Excuse me? Does your grandma know you're up on the couch? Are you supposed to be up on that couch? God, for your mouth right now. No, my God, you're a Bobo. You're a funny Bobo. What? Coffee. Okay? I didn't catch a word of that. Could you repeat that, please? Excuse me? I don't know what that means. You're very loud. You know Howard's still sleeping? Oh, gosh. You have a major malfunction, dude. All right. We have a beautiful, beautiful morning. It's 9:30. I'll bet you it's 68 degrees right now. It feels gorgeous. So I'm going to take advantage of this. You know, we've got the rig is going up into the shop here in a couple of days. So I'm going to empty out all of our exterior cabinets. I'm trying to reduce the overall weight as much as possible. I don't know if you recall, but when we had the rear end work done, which was 2 summers ago, Harry had a hard time getting the thing up in the air on the lift. In fact, the first lift blew a hydraulic hose. He moved it to the other lift and was able to get it to go up. But he said, you know, it's a 12,000 pound lift. The truck, you know, when I go over the scales, when we're all loaded up, it's like 12,000 pounds. So I'm gonna remove all of my, you know, toolboxes and generator and all the stuff that we can get out of there. I'm gonna take the bike carrier off the back. So I'm gonna do this right now, and then we're gonna fire the rig up. It hasn't run since we got here. That's the spot that I parked it when we pulled in from Arizona, and it's been sitting there ever since. So we're gonna get it cleaned out, get it fired up, and get it ready for going to the shop in 2 days. And Lefty is just hanging out. We just came back from a walk, so he's just laying out here nice and quiet right now. This is all fluids, liquids, oils, everything. More of the same. This is motorcycle related. Oils, fluids, antifreeze for the motorcycle radiators. Oh, wow, this one's heavy. This is fluids, parts, tools, stuff I've forgotten I had. Holy smokes. Tools, Dremel kit, towels, spray paint, motorcycle parts, DeWalt jigsaw, thank you Tom, extension cords, dog bone, step stool, generator. So that cabinet's empty. This is my cold weather clothes. Propane tank, full. Oh yeah, this is 25 pounds of tools right here. Another 15 pounds of tools. 10 pounds or more of screws and fasteners and such. And about another 8 pounds of tools. Goodness. It's about 20 pounds of tools. Well, this is all the remaining stuff that was in that rear cabinet. Some oils, my diesel clean fuel additive that I use. Look at this. We are DeWalt users. Absolutely. More tools. This is my torque wrench, my voltmeter. This is my big breaker bar. Boy, I would love to have a garage again. My LED light, I charged it. It's back to bright, but like I mentioned in the video, it doesn't hold the charge like it used to. It's very old. I can't complain at all. It's very old. More tools. More tools. I bought this second extension cord when we were up at the sugar beet harvest. I bought this on the way up there because I knew I was going to be plugging in the truck and the block heater. So I needed 2 good extension cords. So that short one was for the block heater. That's enough. That's enough. I'm also going to pop off the wheel simulators, the hubcaps, so that Harry doesn't have to fumble with them. Because they're, I don't want to call them finicky, but I'd rather take them on and off myself than have a shop do it. Okay. Oh, hi everyone. Good morning. You see the doors all open on the rig here. Because Lefty reminded me that if I'm taking my truck up to the shop, that it needs a little bit of a cleaning. So imagine this. We left here last, September? October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So a bunch of months of wear. And things like this here, this is the passenger door footwell. Doesn't get a lot of eyes on this area here. And I can tell you, these are all little short Lefty hairs. At least his hairs are really short. I can tell you this hasn't been cleaned in a little while. I can tell just by looking at it. So shame on me, but it's time. We're gonna do some vacuuming up in here. We're gonna wipe down the dashboard. Obviously, as you all know, all the windows need to be cleaned. We've got excessive nositis on all of the windows. Well, focused on this area here, the passenger door doesn't look too bad. No, wait, there's a bunch of it. I just had to get the right angle. So all of this just needs a vacuuming and a wipe down. Left, come on, buddy. Just laying there barking just to do it? Huh? Come on! You're better than that! You're louder than that! So, we know that. Alright, I'm just delaying here by chatting with y'all. Let me get cleaning. Let's get this done. You know, I remember, this is making me have flashbacks. I remember back first putting this rig together, putting this carpeting in, and it was, you know, blue and so nice looking, and we first started going on the road and I was vacuuming all the time, and those days are long behind us. The vacuuming took a back seat because it's nearly impossible to keep up with. After we get it all vacuumed up, then we'll come back with the wipe down. This is level 1, tidy. Then level 2 is with the rags and the cleaner. There's a lot of dirt in here. Oh my gosh. I gotta unplug this and go dump it. So this has a little flip down. You hit this here and the bottom falls. Gosh, don't push it right now, David. So I always take this and put it over the garbage can or wherever I'm dumping it and then open it up. Boy, it is a muggy, muggy gray morning. See the sky? Yeah, the sun is, well, it's over here somewhere. Can't even tell. Very humid. I'm sweating. Feels great. This is the springtime weather I like right here. It's just muggy, damp. Feels really good, actually. Really good. Ah! Oh my goodness. Woo! This is the Shark Rocket, by the way. I don't think they sell this version anymore. This has a plug-in powered brush, which is unique. And I don't think they sell this anymore, unfortunately. I think they sell a version of this, but they got rid of the powered brush, from what I remember. That's too bad, because this thing is just awesome. It's got so much power. It really sucks. Get it? That was my joke for the day. All right, so we're not looking bad here. I mean, this is just a quick, and I haven't even used this is the powered beater brush. And this is a real, it's like a lifesaver. It picks up so much grunge out of the carpet. So we're not looking too bad. I'm actually having a lot of fun. Some of you can understand what I mean. A lot of you will be like, what the heck are you talking about? Fun? That looks miserable. This is my home. I like it to be as clean as I can make it. My gloves, these are just some cheap, like Walmart. I keep these right in the door pouch here. And when I pull in to get fuel, I put on gloves. Because the diesel pumps are sometimes dirty, and once you get a little diesel on your hand, you're gonna smell that like all day. So highly recommend, keep you a pair of cheap gloves right there in your door pouch, so when it's fuel time, you're ready. And that was actually something that I learned from one of the first guys that I met on the road and traveled with. He had a diesel, it was a Duramax. Yeah, but he showed me, or he was using gloves, and I said, you know, that's a good idea. So I copied him. So learning as we go, always. You know, I still learn stuff from people. I learn a lot of stuff from a lot of you in your comments and emails that y'all send me. I still learn stuff. Not a professional at all. I just drive around in an old truck with my dog. We're going to take a look at a piece of gear that was sent to us. If you remember, it was last summer, I had a portable solar panel from a company called All Powers. This gear is also from All Powers. They are, I'm going to say, famous for really high wattage portable solar panels. You know, most power stations come with 100, 200 watt panels. And if you're lightly using your power station, those panels can recharge it if you're not drawing down the power at the same time. If you're relying on that power station for everyday use, you're using it all the time, a 200 watt panel is not going to charge it up. You know, especially when you get into these larger power stations, you need higher amounts of power. One thing that I say to people, and some of you, I'm sure I've said this to you when people are asking me about a system that they're thinking of installing, a solar system, and I always tell them, you can never have enough panels. If you've got the real estate on the roof of your vehicle, load it up with as many panels as you can, because you can never have enough power. And All Powers has the 400 like this and a 600 watt panel. It's a lot of power in a portable panel. It's way simpler to do it like I'm going to show you. As soon as he moves, scoot, scoot. So you flip out the first panel, and then you put out its leg. Okay? Look out, buddy. So the first and second panels. Legs are out. You unfold them, another one. Put the leg out. And then the last two. And you put their legs out. See that? Simple. Okay. Now that we have that unfolded, let's see how much it takes to get it connected up to the R2500. So the panels come with these MC4 cables. They also come, the kit comes with this adapter here. So you've got MC4 on one end and an Anderson plug on the other. So let's plug these in. There's one, there's two, and now down here, let me spin this a little, and this does not come on wheels. This is just a little wheeled platform that I have available here at Mom's. And now right down here, Anderson plug. That's it. It's now plugged into the solar panels. That was pretty simple. Okay, let's take a look. All right, the power station woke up. It's seeing the panels that are connected. It is showing, I don't know if you can see that at all. It's showing about 175 watts. So that all is dependent on the sun angle, how many clouds you have in the sky, how you've positioned the panels. So I just threw these up. We've got quite overcast, kind of hazy sky today. There's the sun. So my angle is pretty good. I'm set up facing the sun. We've just got cloud cover. So we're not going to get up near that 400 watt. I would estimate, just in my experience, maximum output from these panels, 400 watt panels, you're probably going to see 375 watts maximum. That's just how solar panels work. So that was a really simple connection. Again, the kit comes with everything you need to hook it up. And down here on this end, you can also plug in, if you're going to charge from your wall, your AC cord, and it comes with that cord. And it has a reset button here in case of a problem. The other cables that the kit comes with, so here's for AC charging. If you're going to plug into the wall, it's just a standard PC cable. The other cable it comes with is Anderson to 12 volt. This is the famous cigarette lighter style adapter. So you can plug this into your 12 volt in your car. It's going to be a slow charge rate, but they give you the cable anyways. They also have this kit available with their 600 watt panel. That's got to be a big one. So this is the R2500 from All Powers. This is a 2500 watt power station. It has a 4000 watt peak, and it has a 2016 watt hour capacity for the geeks out there. Watt hours is the amount of, like, if you think about how much does it have in reserve, you know, having high wattage output is great, but if you don't have a lot of watt hours, that high wattage output is gonna tank the batteries really fast. So 2016 watt hours is pretty sturdy. This can handle up to 1,000 watts of solar input. And if you're charging at 1,000 watts of solar, this will charge in 2 hours. For a large unit like this with a big battery, 2 hours is a great charge time. And like I mentioned when I showed the cables, it has different ways to charge. You've got AC, you know, in your wall, solar panels, you can charge from your car, or you can do solar plus AC wall charge. So if you plug this into the wall and you have solar panels hooked up to it, this thing will charge in 1 hour. Something I like to see on these larger units, it does have a 30 amp RV plug, so you can plug this right into your shore power on your big RV. You've got 4 AC outputs, maximum 20 amps each, cigarette lighter style adapter. You've got 12 volt barrel plugs here, and then you've got USB-Cs, USB-As on this side. So all told, you've got 14 ports. So this kit right here, the 2500 watt power station, the 400 watt panel, is on their site for $13.99. So not cheap, but you get a lot of performance, a lot of power out of this. I did get a 10% discount code. It's good through the end of the month, through the end of May. It's 10% off. So look for that down in the video description, plus links right to the product. And check out All Power's. They're large solar panels, and they sell these separately. If you're looking for one of these large portable panels, I can't recommend these enough. They're 400 or they're 600. So check out the links down in the description and take a look at the All Powers gear. And thanks All Powers for letting us check this stuff out. I spared you all watching me vacuum for about 45 minutes. I went at it hard. I did the seats. So Lefty's seat, I don't know if you can pick it up, but I got all the hair off of it. Thankfully, his little short hairs, they come out. You know, they do get into the weave of the chair a little bit, but with a circular motion and the brush, it seems to take care of it with a lot of work. So his chair just took me like 20 minutes really going at it. So now I'm gonna get the cleaner and we're gonna knock all this dust and debris off of everything, get the windows done. That should make it look a lot better and feel better. But you know, carpeting's looking good, everything looks nice as far as the vacuuming goes. So now we're on to level 2 tidy. Okay, look at this. This is showroom clean. Huh? I don't know that you can appreciate it on the camera, but everything is very nice and clean. Even these, you know how tough it is to clean down in these things. This was a lot of work, but what, like an hour and a half of work and everything is tidy now. So the whole cab is nice and fresh. And you ask, well, why did I clean all this? Tomorrow the truck goes up to the shop, and you know, a mechanic's job is hard enough. The last thing they want to do is have to get into some nasty vehicle, right? And even, you know, when mine was dirty, it's not. I'm sure they see some really ripe ones. What is your trouble? What is your malfunction? Huh? Don't be huffing and puffing at me. Have you all ever watched, there's a YouTube channel, they do these customer states video, and it's all video clips that mechanics send in of what they find when the vehicle comes in. Like, customer states brakes are making a noise, and they get up under there and like the entire rotor has been chewed and is gone, or the caliper is missing, you know. So all these really odd things that happen to these guys. And some of them, they show the interior of the car. Oh my gosh. You know, so that's why I cleaned the truck today. So at least when they get in the truck to move it and all that, it doesn't have them feeling creeped out. You know, Harry, I know the guy, he's gonna get in there. I don't want him being like, oh, this is nasty, you know. Turn off the inverter. I was using onboard power for the vacuum cleaner. Took it down to 99.3%. Because we got gobs of power, right? Well, that's it. We're ready to go to the shop tomorrow. Wish us luck. I hope everything works out. Oh my goodness. Try to make it look not messy here in front of the camera. So I'm sitting here. We're shopping for truck parts. I'm getting knowledgeable on brake parts for the rig. So the truck is up in the shop right now. That was a big sneeze. I couldn't get the camera on in time. The sneeze fans would have loved that one. Holy smokes. So this might not look like the most beautiful environment here, but we are up at the shop. There was a little sneeze. We're up at the shop. There's the rig sitting right there. So we're dropping the truck here for Harry to look at the front end, and I also asked him to do an inspection. Now, state inspections are valid, or they're required in the state. So a New York State inspection is required when driving the vehicle in New York State. You know, we don't spend a ton of time in New York State driving around in the rig, but the last thing I would want is for us to, you know, get pulled over on our way like across the state because we don't have an inspection sticker. And it's like I think it's 21 bucks. Dude, oh my gosh. What are you doing? Get away from their sticks. Those are there for a reason. So right here is a motorcycle shop. This shop has been here. It's got a different name now. It used to be called, boy, that's loud. This is a very busy road right here. Very commercial. It's 9 a.m., so a lot of traffic. Wow. Look at this. Are you throwing grass on that Ram? Well, sorry you Dodge lovers. Lefty just flung some rooster on that Ram. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this used to be called Cycle Stop, and it's been there forever. Now that's a new building they built. Well, not new, but they built it. The original location was right here. This used to be the shop right here. So it's a dealership, service shop. And back when I was on my first dirt bike, my 78 YZ125, I had a failure, a mechanical failure. Me and my buddies were riding the railroad tracks, which is something you used to be able to do, you know, is going right along the railroad tracks. So we were ripping down the tracks. Oh, pause video. Okay. Whoops. Let me get you. Yeah, so we were ripping down the railroad tracks, and my chain flung off. I'm guessing this is how it occurred. The chain flung off and jammed up in between the front sprocket and the case. It didn't break the case, thankfully, but it internally, I can't remember exactly, and I wasn't as mechanically tuned in as I am now, you know, knock knock, but it broke. I think it broke a gear. It broke something in the transmission. And so, you know, once me and my buddies back at the house, we figured out that something was broken, and we got it, we pulled the engine off, and we brought it here to this shop, which was called Cycle Stop back then, and they did the repair on the engine for me. They had to split the cases, and you know, that was way beyond my skill set. I guess today I would split cases on a motorcycle transmission. It would be a first, but I kind of know, I understand what's in there, just never done it before. But back when I was 16 years old or 15 years old, not happening. So that's my connection to this shop. And then they moved, they had that new building built, they moved over there. It was still called Cycle Stop, but now it's called Rock On Harley Davidson and Power Sports. I see they're more slanted towards Harley Davidson now. Like you can see on the sign there, and Power Sports is like 12-point font, and the Harley Davidson is like 300-point font. I guess they just have to throw it on there. Oh, and I just remembered, when my daughter was little, her first motorcycle I bought from there, a Yamaha PW50, brand new, right out of the box. And got training wheels and put training wheels on it for her. That was her first motorcycle. PW50. How many people out there have contact with PW50s? I'll bet a lot of you are raising your hands right now. So you might ask, what are we doing walking around in the parking lot? Well, I'm waiting for Mom. We had a little miscommunication this morning. I talked to her about coming here to drive me back home. You know, I said, I can call you, you know, once I know that I'm just going to leave the truck. And then we decided, she said, well, I'm not doing anything. I said, okay, if you don't mind, you just follow me up there. And you either are going to drive home with me or without me. And somehow that turned into, she didn't follow me, and I just had to call her and ask her to drive up here and pick me up. It's, I don't know, several miles from her house. It's not far. Not a fun drive this time of the morning, unfortunately, with all the rush hour traffic. So I'm just bird dogging, waiting for her to pull in out here. Then we're gonna go home and do something. I don't know what. Lefty still needs to get his breakfast. And we'll pick this up when we have an update. Harry called me yesterday, midday, and he said that I've got a bad right side tie rod end. So I'm having that replaced. He said that everything else, he's got no wiggles anywhere else. He said, he goes, nothing else needs to be replaced. He goes, unless you want to, you know? And I'm like, you know, if you pushed and pulled and wiggled and twisted and nothing needs replacement, this is something my buddy Tim taught me when we used to work on my old Mercury. Because I remember one time specifically, I had a new power steering pump and a new alternator. And I'm like, hey, I want to install these, you know, like I'd pick him up on Saturdays and he'd come over and we'd hang out and wrench on the car and mess around. And I said, I've got power steering pump and an alternator to put on. He's like, why? You know, because they weren't broken, the ones that were on the car. And that really hit me that I had, you know, I bought these parts, and they're not hugely expensive on that old car. You know, a power steering pump, alternator, they're very common. They were used for decades, I'm sure, in millions of cars. So the parts are really easy to get, and they're not expensive. And I had a tendency to just, you know, install new stuff, even though the old stuff was still working. And he's like, why do you want to do that? You know? And I had new power steering hoses. And that stuck with me when he said that to me. I asked Harry, I said, well, is the other tie rod, does that need to be done? He's like, no, it's fine. You know, so in my mind, I'm like, oh, let's replace both of them, right? And it doesn't need to be replaced. It's still good. So I have to stick with that mindset. But we did talk about doing the brakes. So I'm shopping for brake parts. I'm on Rock Auto. I'm sure a lot of you have shopped on Rock Auto before. And, you know, Rock Auto sells parts from every manufacturer. So when I bring up rotors from my truck, you know, there's a list this long with all these different brands and then different styles, because a rotor on the front of the truck is different if it has dual rear wheels. It's different than a front rotor for a single rear wheel vehicle. That's what I've just learned. And the rotor that's for a dual rear wheel, it's not just a rotor. I'm sure you guys have bought rotors before. It's a, you know, that thick, that big around, and that's it. Well, the rotor for the front of a dual wheel Ford E450 is the rotor and then a big honking hub with the lug studs in it. So it's quite a bit more than just a rotor. So I've got these prints here because I want to go put these in front of Harry and say, hey, does that look right? You know, and have him say, yes, that's correct for the dual rear wheel rig. And then these are for the rear. When you pull the axles out, the caps, when they go back in, these are the new gaskets, you know, a couple of dollars each. And then these are the brake pads. And when we were on the phone yesterday, he's like, yeah, you're going to want to get the severe duty, heavy duty pads. And I'm like, I found some and they're blue. He said, yep, that's the ones. Those are the severe duty, heavy duty towing type pads. So I found those. Before I buy these parts, I'm still trying to find the rear. Now that's where I run into a little bit of confusion because they have rear rotors listed here, but they have a specification for what axle is in the rig. Okay, so here's a rear with a 6,340 pound axle. It's a Raybestos. Here's a Raybestos rear, dual rear wheels, 8 mounting holes, 11,000 pound rear axle. So there's two, and here's a third Raybestos rear, 8 mounting holes, 8,000 pound axle. So I've got to see if Harry can help me. Something I used to do with my buddy Tim, who works next door in the Lincoln store. We would go over to his parts counter guy, and that guy would look up parts. When we were working on my Lincoln that I had, he would look up the part number for me, and then I would take the part number and go buy the parts, you know, and Tim and I would, or Tim would put it on. Who am I kidding? I would hand him tools. Oh, it's got to be because they used different rear ends. You know, mine's a Dana 70, so I'm sure they had different rear ends. So a 6,000 pound one, probably not a Dana 70. So that's probably the reason why. So that's what I'm doing today. These are big brakes, so a little more pricey than other brakes you'd get. So let me finish this, and I'd like to go up and chat with Harry. It's a Friday. He'll be in a good mood. Try to catch him around lunchtime, except Mom is out with the car, and my rig is up there in the parking lot. I just see that he sent me a text asking if I needed the truck back today. I didn't see it. That was like an hour and a half ago. So he's probably, you know, probably got the part in, the tie rod, and wondering if he needs to pull the rig in to get it fixed. Oh, I just got an email from Patty that won the Oops Exodus 600, the power station giveaway we did. She got it. Really happy. I threw in a couple of stickers. She said thanks for those. If you guys need stickers, I haven't talked about the stickers in a long time. You can go on our website, thecampulenceman.com, have a little store there where you can get the stickers. There's also a link to our store for t-shirts and coffee mugs and all that kind of great stuff. Every sticker purchase would go straight to these brake parts, I'll guarantee that. So grab a bunch of stickers, buy 100 of them. I got them sitting right over there. I get them mailed out. Lefty will lick the envelope for you and we'll get them shipped right out. Hi, sweetheart. Where are you coming from?
McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
You just went to McDonald's?
I just got a sweet tea and then I got blue ice cream. Because it's hot out.
Okay. Where were you before that?
Home.
Where were you before that?
Lilac Festival.
Okay. What's the Lilac Festival?
It's like a festival with food and vendors.
Why is it called
Music.
Lilac Festival?
Music, because it's based around the lilac bushes in Highland Park.
Oh, so it's a celebration
It's
of
a celebration of
the lilac bushes.
Yep.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone says it's very good to see you. Say
Good.
goodbye to everyone.
Bye. Oh, Martha.
Oh, you told me that, yeah.
And yeah, she was interviewed on Piers Morgan. You should watch it. It's hilarious.
Everyone take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. Right? What are you grumbling at behind my back? I'm sorry, what? What? You wanna go inside? Huh? Okay.